Hello, YouTube. What we got here is I did a video yesterday on George Orwell. Oh, mercy. George Orwell. She's got two little ones, too. Literally have your hands full.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Hi, little dude. It's doing what? You gonna put that in the car? Party in the car? Okay. Do you need help? Do you need help loading that in your car? Is that what he's saying? Okay. Always helping neighbor out. Look, kid's playing with a cinder block over there. He got a cinder block. He calls it a party in the car. All right, party in the car. Right on. I don't know what a cinder block has to do with a party or a car. If you're partying with cinder blocks, well, that sounds like the old clan I used to hang around with. Bunch of cinder blocks. So, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's time. Yeah, sometimes it's time to put the party down, you know what I'm saying? Cop's been driving around the block a couple times now. I think he wants a piece of Reggie. I don't think he wants none of this. Seriously, I don't. So anyhow, talking about George Orwell the other day, and it occurred to me, you can go back and watch the video if you want to. It's a situation where it occurred to me. It said he was a British nationalist, you know, in 1937, and he turned into a socialist in 1938. I do believe those numbers are pretty close, and it's probably because of World War II. But a nationalist and a socialist, we all know what that means. So I don't know, but times have changed. Things have flip-flopped a little bit, you know. He was anti-Stalin at the time in World War II, or World War One. I'm sorry, this was pre-World War II. World War One. Stalin was doing some pretty awful stuff, but I guess everybody was. And it was weird because the Germans were like the good guys. But then when Hitler rose to power, he said, when he was sitting in jail for the things he did, apparently he actually was I think he was embarrassed because of there was a treaty signed at the end of World War One. I can't remember the name of it right now. It had some French fancy Francy name on it. Treaty of Versailles. Is that what it is? I'm thinking. People are so damn loud. So I think that's what it was. I could be wrong. I'll have to look that up later. But oh my God. Do you see that? Can you see that? It was a bright, clear day before that happened. It was as clear as it comes. I wonder what they're trying to tell us. That's crazy right there. That's absolutely crazy. I'm afraid to breathe. I'm afraid to breathe that stuff in. I don't like that. And we got someone out there that said, I'm scared of socialism. I ain't scared of socialism. I think it's stupid. I think it's immoral. I think it's an uneducated man's way of getting free stuff. But I'm not afraid of it, you know. I just, you know, I'm a conservative. I want to conserve our Constitution. our personal money, personal gains. They can only come through capitalism. You know, they said capitalism didn't exist before 1500, or we'll just say 1500. You know, it's only been in practice for a few hundred years. 1700. I don't even know the history on it, but I know it works. I know it got us to where we are today, prosperous. Everybody driving a new car, but still don't understand those chemtrails. I don't understand it. What is that aerosol shit they're spraying in the air? I don't get it. Are they seeding for clouds? Because that's exactly what it looks like. Looks like they're cloud seeding. You know, just crisscross stripes going across the sky. Take a look at it again. I don't know what that is. You know? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of puzzling things in the world today. But I'm still thinking, no matter what form of government, if we switch sides or did some cringy stuff, that all this stuff would continue to happen. You know, a lot of stuff would continue to happen. You know, in fact, it might even ramp up and get worse. You know, imagine only having one pair of socks to choose from, or you know, instead of Fruit of the Loom, you got to go with you know, Bernie's choice instead of or the People's Choice. People's Choice would be the only brand we had. The People's Choice. Yeah, there ain't no choice. Ain't no damn choice. You know? You think it's bad now? With they're downright rude about it. You know? They'll turn around and say abortions are mandatory. Then what? Mandatory abortions. If you have more than 2 children, you will have to get an abortion if you get pregnant. How happy will you be over the rights of your bodies then? You know? Women's right to choose. Oh, women's rights. Pro-choice. You go full socialism. You go social tard. You ain't gonna have a choice. They'll tie you down and take your baby out of you. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That somewhere in the world, there isn't a place in the world where people are being tied down and forced to have abortions. I guarantee there's a place in the world that does that. I'll guarantee there's a place in the world that does that. I will guarantee it. And another damn cop. They want Reggie, man. They want the Regmeister. They can't have me. I'm gonna keep on walking. I'm gonna keep on walking. I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So there it is. Yeah, imagine getting tied down and having an abortion. You know, and this goes male and female. If it ain't bad enough, men ain't got no say so either way right now. The way the law sits, women have they have more rights than men do. The way the law sits, if you counted 1 for 1 and for equal rights, men don't have the equal right to contest an abortion. 1 plus for the women, 1 minus for the men. They have an extra right there. You know, there's extra. So now women have extra rights, special privileges. They can say, I want an abortion. And the father of said child has nothing to say about that. Nothing at all. You can't contest it or nothing. You know? Right now, imagine a world where women couldn't even contest an abortion. That's what socialism brings. It's ushers in a world like that. Not to knock it, I'm just observing. You know? It maybe not on the surface right away, but it cracks that door open. You know what I'm saying? It cracks that door open, lets them get a foot in there, so you can't close it again. And the first thing they'll do is take away free rights, or free rights, your Bill of Rights. Your Bill of Rights will be, as soon as a socialist steps into a higher office and has power of executive privilege, guess what goes? Constitutional rights. Because they don't like the Constitution. They think it's outdated. They said it themselves. It's outdated. Second Amendment was for a time when they had musket and ball and musket, and you know, they've even gone and lied and said there was no such thing as automatic weapons back then. Semi-automatic weapons, I gotta say. Apologize. They did not have machine guns in 1776 the way we know them. In fact, the Gatling gun wasn't invented until many years later. So they did have elephant guns back then, scatter guns, which was almost the same thing. You know, you load 15 balls in one little, and then you shoot them, and 10 guys go down, and maybe a guy behind him gets hit. You know, that's where elephant guns were. You know, it wasn't just a bullet; it was like a shotgun with half-inch round balls in it, a bunch of them, and you know, they're actually kind of funny looking when you look at them, but that's what they were. Got somebody stopped on the off ramp. They were at a complete stop. At a complete stop on the off ramp. So that's kind of weird. But I'm taking a walk. I'm going up to a grocery store up here, and gotta pay a couple bills and things like that. It's the end of the week. I'm taking the weekend off. Maybe do some Reggie stuff. But yeah, I don't think George Orwell was a socialist the way socialists see socialists today. I think he was a socialist as of 1937. Socialist was, being that he was anti-Stalin. What does that mean? And if someone can hit me in the comments below, let me know what that means. I'll be really obliged, because that leads me to think he was pro-Hitler. But then again, Hitler was trying to attack Great Britain. Well, no, that didn't come till a little bit later. But he was sinking ships. He was sinking English ships. It's hard to say, man. The guy was a British cop. You know? He's an imperial cop. It means he worked for the Queen. Yes, the Queen. She's still alive, man. How's that work? She's got to be like 117 years old. I'm just kidding. She's probably... I know she got married in like 1926. And she was a princess. And then she became queen later on when her husband died and the other king died off. Yeah, so she became queen. There was ticker tape parades and everything, but she was a cutie too, man. I gotta say, she was hot. Now look at her. She's like sitting in that throne. She looks like a meat bag. Sorry, England. I'm not loyal to the throne. I can say these things. I'm an American. I can say these things. She looks like a big sack of meat in a nice dress. And she's mad at Trump. I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem right. I don't think she's really mad at Trump. You know, I don't know. If I was the royal throne, I'd be mad at America too. I'd be doing everything I can to undercut and reverse the shit that happened in 1776. I would be upset about that if I were an English nationalist. So I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Trump didn't start a war with that woman, but he sure didn't do anything to stop it. Somebody dropped something on the road here. We got motorcycles around here. I'll pick something up if it's looks like someone will wipe out on her or get caught in her chain or something. That was a blanket. Speaking of blanket, there's one of Michael Jackson's kids named Blanket. That ought to raise alarm anywhere you go. Yeah, that ought to raise alarm. He names her kid Blanket. You know? I don't know, man. That's some crazy shit right there. You made me swear. I'm out of here. If you have any answers, if you can tell me what the question I asked earlier about how can you be socialist and anti-communist at the same time? I mean, because socialism does lead to capitalism. I think Lenin said that. So it puzzles me. It puzzles me. So I guess there's levels of socialism. So if you're not left far enough, some of them will leave you behind. So you're not left far enough. And that's where Kamala Harris said she'd be okay with banning imported AR-15 rifles, but AR-15 imported? I think she's just anti-Israel, because that's where they're coming from. The imported ones in Turkey, coming from Turkey. So I've had a couple Turkish firearms, and they are superior quality. I gotta say, they make a good product, kind of like America used to. America. So I don't know, man. It's just really odd to me what she meant by that. She banned the sale by executive order of imported AR-15 style weapons. Imported, okay? Not many of those are imported. So the Armalite, well, there are English versions of it too, I gotta say. So she's basically telling England to go screw off with their capitalism, you know. There is a market. If you can get it, like what about the SKS? SKS is Chinese made, you know. Now it used to be a Russian gun. Now it's so. In fact, that was another fine weapon right there, the SKS. And I had the pleasure of firing one of those a few times. And I gotta say, they had rational national. I gotta catch up on some of that David Dole. I always troll his site. Go to Rational National here on YouTube and check him out. Troll his ass. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Really crazy though. He says he's rational. This is what that video was for about the other day about guys that say they're rational. You know. I mean, because what can I say? They're irrational, which is basically what they are. But they try to rationalize things, you know. Rational, it's a weird word. If you say you're rational, it implies that everybody else isn't. So and if you listen to him, you're a rational person too, you know. That's what it implies. It's like a sales pitch. And it's like saying if you're, you know, kind of like the pro-life people, they're kind of cringy too, some of them. They say things like oh well, pro-life. So if you're not, if you like abortions, you're not pro-life, you're pro-death, you know, that kind of thing. That's kind of cringy, you know. And it puts people in a weird position. Like, of course I love life, you know. I love tomatoes and apples and, you know, and birds, and I like me some beef Wellington. Of course I like life. Without life, there'd be no food, you know. Without my parents, I wouldn't be here. They did some really cringy stuff, man, I gotta tell you. And it's not like I was in the bedroom with them, but your parents were freaks. I just went ahead and said it, didn't I? Oh, you think Donald Trump had something to say about grabbing chicks by their hoo-ha? Huh? What do you think your dad was doing when about 8 months before you were born? What do you think? You know? You know? Yeah, so man, I tell you. Alright, I'm where I need to be. I'm at this cringy grocery store with a McDonald's attached to it. I don't think I'm gonna go in there and have some McDonald's or nothing. I haven't eaten that stuff in a long time. I'm gonna catch me some David Dole, D-O-E-L, David Dole, and see what Cenk Uygur has to say, because that's all he does is repeat Cenk Uygur. And it's funny because I watch this. Well, that's a nice bite. I could watch the Young Turks. What have we got going on here? Does that thing work?
Sorry?
Does that work?
I don't think so, not right now, there's no motor.
There's no motor in it?
No. Right.
You take it to Pikes Peak and just push it off, and would it float?
Float, probably. What are you thinking? That's ooh, yeah. See.
All right, happy travels, guys. Be careful with this thing, man. It could hurt somebody.
Yeah. Well, you've got them other ones on there. I think you're gonna
I don't like the way he's got that thing tied down, but they look pretty arrogant, pretty pompous. I mean, an airplane with no engine in it. Told him to push it off of Pikes Peak. I killed me sometimes. That's funny shit right there. Will it float? Not for long. That motherfucker dropped like a brick. I don't trust. I wouldn't trust that thing. Just saying. It said experimental right on the side of it. But I'm out of here. I'm gonna head into the grocery store here and do my thingy thing. But y'all have a good one. Like, comment, don't like, share, subscribe, click the bell. If you don't see someone with a smile, attempt to give them one of yours. If you see someone with a smile, they're probably gonna go fly in an airplane and kill themselves. Peace.